Oh, we are live. Jennifer Lacey, what are you doing?
I'm home from an amazing conference that we had in Chicago, Converge Construction Summit. You are in the airport, so this should be fun.
Yeah, this might be the only time, and I'm happy that there's going to be evidence of me using my inside voice.
Okay, yes, because I've already heard it this morning. I'm like, okay, the energy's a little bit lower than usual.
I'm trying not to get arrested by security here for being super loud. Oh my. Okay, so you're back home.
Yes,
Are you energized? Are you depleted? Is your brain exploding from all the amazingness from Converge this week?
yes. To everything you just said, like everything. Yes, still on a high from like all of the conversations and the people and the connectivity. You know me is that I am the biggest. I'm one of the biggest extroverted introverts. I think is the
Yep.
way I say it
Yep.
because when I am in those rooms, I try to give every person like the time and the space and the presence and make sure that I'm there and by doing that and by creating those connections and being there, I am completely drained when I'm done. And so it's like it was amazing and I gave it so much. And then like my body's like crash. And so I definitely took a nap or two on the plane ride home yesterday.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Look, we got Miss Becky.
Oh, that's a blue heart. That's a blue heart person. I'm so
Yeah,
excited. Becky, you
we
don't know
got,
yet, but you're a blue heart. So put a blue heart and then I'll tell you what it is in a minute.
yeah. Well, we got to hang out with her in
We
Chicago.
did
So,
in Chicago. And so
and
again, we
she
got a lot of,
knows.
we may have some new people jumping on us.
Yeah, she knows I don't have an inside voice. Oh man, we got people popping.
I know,
Okay, so
right?
before, let's just let people know what we're going to be
Yes.
tinkering around with today is your need for control is silently breaking you. But
I
before that,
love
we
and
got,
hate this topic so much.
I know, that's why I like it. So let's do the housekeeping,
Okay.
Jennifer.
Okay. So those of you that are out there that this popped up and you see these crazy people talking on screen and you're like, what is going on over here? Or you found us through other avenues. We ask you if this is the first time that you've either been on our live stream, first time, or you've been out there listening, kind of paying attention, but you haven't typed anything, or you haven't added your voice, or you haven't shared anything in the text, then we're talking to you because we don't know you're there unless you type and you add comments. So if you're in the background, there's a lot in the background. And we love if you're in the background watching and kind of lurking around. But even if it's just one little icon, if you'll let us know, that gives us one, we can recognize you because we love having people come and jump on. But it also lets all of our No BS tribe connect with you and follow your content and engage with you. And anyone that adds a comment, adds a heart, adds an emoji, adds anything in the comments, they get put into the randomizer, which it's so ironic that Becky is the one already adding all these things, is because anyone that goes into the randomizer at the end, before we get off, Jesse pushes a button. And Jesse, what happens when they go into the randomizer?
Well, Jennifer, let me tell you. For all the comments and the hearts and all the things, you get in the randomizer. It's a little raffle at the top of the hour. I will do the button clicking, and the name that gets selected gets a 1 month pass to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and Cultivation Crew,
Yes.
where we work on like the skills that can amplify your career that most people are too scared to touch.
Yes, that part. Yes. So we have fun and it's scary and it's vulnerable and you leave like really making big impactful choices when you get off. So yes. Another
Yeah.
one.
Oh, we got another blue heart. Let me see. Let me see.
We got another person we saw this week.
Oh yeah, Miss Jory,
I
what's
know.
going on? That was so, and the one thing that I'm going to whine about from Converge was that like Jory and I were in the middle of a conversation and it was just people. So I never really got to have a full, deep conversation with all the people. But it was still awesome because I got to connect with everybody. So it was
Yes.
fantastic. Jory, glad you're here.
Yes.
We got Miss Jackie. She says lurkers. Yes, we love
Yes.
the lurkers jerky. And Jackie, I know you got your live stream, so folks hit up Jackie because she's got a lot of good stuff going out there.
Yes. Make sure you connect with the Blue Hearts. And if you're a Blue Heart, connect with anyone that's in the comment because they are rock stars.
Yeah. And you know this guy?
I mean, I do. It was funny. He was kind of poking in on some of our Converge stuff, like really wanting to be there, but not.
I'm going to say I support the decision he made. It was an
Yes.
important decision for him to stay with the family. So way to go,
Yeah.
Mr. Hoots. Okay. So Jen, do we
Yes.
do the question? Do we hit him with the question?
Well, first, like, okay, can we like give a little background on like where did this come from? Like
Yes.
a little, I mean, because I know it, and we're going to be completely honest. Like, okay, normally our content for the live streams comes from like our previous live stream. We do an after party. We kind of get people to share more things, and then we leave that conversation and go, okay, Jesse, here's what's next. Here's what we need to dig into because it looks like there's some underlying things here. That's normally what happens. And then we got to Chicago on Wednesday and ran into Jesse at the hotel. And I'm like, Jess, so we have this live stream on Saturday and we don't really have a topic yet. What are your thoughts? He's like, I don't know. Let's think about it. And so over the last couple of days, we got to listen to some amazing speakers like talk about a lot of soft skill things and a lot of things that people struggle with that they're not really trained on, or they're not like given the skills before they get in the position. So we had a lot of like really cool breakouts that talked about those things. And one of them specifically from JD and Brian, it was about like control. And it was, and they did it last year and they're doing it again this year on like the really focusing on the things that are in your circle of control versus the things that are not in your circle of control, and that things that you give effort to and you give energy to that you really can't do anything about, which I love. And you and I talk about that a lot. My question was, what if it is in your circle of control? It is what you do have influence and agency over, and you need to let it go. That was the, okay, but what if I do control it, but it's hurting me, or it's hurting the people that are there because I won't let go. And that's kind of where this, and you were like, noted, I got a topic, and that's where we are today.
Well, and here's the thing, like I agree, and it's the human thing that we all deal with. The reason I got lit up about it is because at Converge, and folks, if you're out there and you were at Converge, follow Becky's example, drop a little croissant in the chat. If you know, you know. The things that we were doing is awesome, because one of the guys there, he mentioned like, what do you think so far? And he's like, I think Megan asked the question, like, how would you describe this to somebody if it was their first time? And he's like, you got to be ready to get weird.
Yes.
And I could see, right? So there was like 18 new people. And it's kind of like, wait a minute, there's a bunch of like business people, there's professionals here. And we're in this, fancy place with the chairs and whatever. But it wasn't like stuffy, right? Like it was like, wait a minute, is this? So what I could see was they were kind of wrestling with having to let go of what they thought they need, or how they thought they needed to behave and like relax, which is a little risky in a professional environment. Now, what I know is if they didn't release that control and relax, they would have hated it and missed all the value. And so when you brought the topic, I'm like, oh yeah, there's so much here. Now I want to be clear, especially for the lurkers, like if control, like it's okay. No judgment. You're living, you're surviving, you're building your life. But I also want to say that, man, you just let go a little bit. Yes. There's all kinds of amazing stuff that is on the other side of you releasing.
Yep. So anyway, that's where the topic came from.
Yes. All right. So we're going to do some shout outs, and then we're going to get into question. You know
Yes.
this
I
amazing.
do. I got to spend so much time with Erin. I got to meet her in person. She's one of my virtual people that I have gotten to love. And then we got to spend a lot of time together talking and hanging out and stuff. And so, yes, very much, Erin, thank you. And I love you so much.
She's amazing. So amazing. Then we got Mr. Milo coming in from the OKC. We got Christy Williams coming in from Florida. Christy,
Welcome.
Welcome. I think Christy's a first timer.
Okay, if this is your first time adding, then please put a blue heart in the comments so that we can give you some love.
Yes. And we got Jaden coming in from YouTube land. She says hi. Linda Clark.
Linda, good morning.
We got a party going on here.
They're rolling in. It's the topic, Jesse. It's absolutely the topic because I am a not even a recovering. I am an actively trying to let go of control person.
Oh, and then we got Hoot says, Joe Carlin, I love that. Where can we find that video? Maybe there's a link that hasn't come through. All right, we're going to get this party started. So Jackie says, release is scary, but can be so rewarding. Jaden dropped the blue heart on the YouTube. So we're going to have to go back and follow and support Jaden. Thank you for being here. All right, Jen.
Yes.
Question number 1.
Okay.
What is the difference between being responsible and being in control?
Okay, well, I'm going to give you my best shot at this, and then we're going to hopefully the audience gives us their responses. So I think a lot of times when we think about control, our first thought, because it's usually the conversation is at work in my mind. That's where it usually starts. And so I think it's like, for me, the control is like, I know what the outcome should be. I know what the goal is. And I need to make sure that I'm putting the steps in place so that everyone is on the same page. Everyone knows what we need to do. Everyone knows where we're trying to go, so that we don't get off task. That's in my mind, and where control comes in play at work. And if you're the leader or you're the person in charge, then some of that is, your responsibility to help the people that you are leading. I think where, for me, the struggle is that I can put all these things in place, and I know in my mind even maybe what the outcome should be and what it should take and how long and all the things, all the manpower and all the things. And I want to continue to be right there controlling it so that it doesn't get off track. And if that's my job, that's great. But if it's not my job and I have people that it is their job, then by me doing that, it's doing a couple of things. Number one, it's taking me out of an area that I could be adding impact and influence to go over here and micromanage something. That's one thing. So it's not allowing me to go and do the bigger things that maybe that's my role and what I should do. The other is it is hurting my people. Hurting my people because yes, I can control it, but what are they learning? How are they growing? How are they failing? Because just, I don't know about you, but my biggest growth learning opportunities have not been the big wins. It has been the times I have screwed something up and went, okay, don't do that again. Okay, don't make that choice again. Or, okay, that's not the way this works. That is how I've learned the most. And the most memorable ones that have been seared into my brain on, don't do that, Jennifer, because you know what's going to happen. How are our people learning that if we can't let go to be able to let them learn and fail? And so I start with work because, that's where most people go. 99% of my examples, and I tried to put that together with work because I know a lot of people deal with that. 99% of my examples are from home.
Yes.
They are from home because I am a mother of 2 teenage daughters.
Oh, amazing. Oh my God. Okay. So we did some investigative work, and Miss Christie is a first timer, and Jackie is responsible for bringing her. So
thank you, Jackie.
Well done. Thank you. We got Mr. Christopher, repeat offender.
Good morning. Yes, repeat offender. We love Christopher.
And he's from Nashville. Is it something happening in
Oh my God,
Nashville?
Christopher, stay on because we just got back from Converge Construction Summit in Chicago, and we're talking about a lot of stuff from that. We're going to be in Nashville next year, so stay tuned.
Come on, baby.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, so we got one answer from the
Okay.
tribe. So, folks, like
Okay.
for real, let us know what you think. What's the difference between being responsible and being controlling?
Yep.
Or maybe you don't see a difference. Let us know what your thoughts are. Miss Linda, I love Linda. She says responsible versus control equals adult versus psychopath. I mean, so I heard from someone else. You know, so I'm going to say it this way. I may
Okay.
ruffle some feathers, but I think, or my observation is, when I see people that are like controlling and can't let go and get in the way, and like it's not serving their intended outcome, it's more a rationalization. They say, well, I'm just being responsible. I'm just making sure things work out. I'm just making sure. And it's like, yeah, but nobody's enjoying this. It's a negative situation. Nobody's learning anything. And you're a psychopath because you can't just let things be. What do you think about that,
I
Jen?
think that I love that. They're masking it. It's like the wolf in sheep's clothing. I think they're like, oh, I'm just being responsible because of my role. And like it makes them feel better. And it makes them feel like if someone asks them, oh yes, I did this and I took control of this, and I like they're doing it for themselves. And okay, that's fine because we all have roles and responsibilities and objectives and goals and things we that are on our plate. But
Yes.
if your control only serves you, then is it necessary? And I'm asking that question because that is what has to go through my mind most of the time when I am trying to control outcomes with my children. It's serving me. It is serving me. I'm going to say it. It is serving me. It is
Yes.
not serving them.
I love, folks. Y'all don't know how happy I am to hear Jen say that out loud. We get a shout out. Margarita Alda Jerry says, hello, hello, coming in from YouTube land. So I get to be just like super critical up here and
You do.
judgy. Because I don't know that I have control issues. I'm sure I do, especially about time.
Oh, you
Um,
do. But we'll go with that. We'll just keep going.
well, I'm pretty laid back on most things, but and you touched on something super important, is especially with like the familial control stuff. I'll say a quick story. I was working with the group of parents and middle school kids, and one of the mothers was complaining, like, my son is so, dependent and he doesn't do anything for himself and wah, 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 wah. And she's like, how old were you when you learned to cook? I was like, 10. She's like, oh my God, like that's so young. Like, mom had 3 jobs and she was going to night school, right? And so, anyways, we're all kind of at this little retreat and fixing lunch and fixing food. And so I took the boys. I'm like, come on, guys, we're going to go prep the meals, do the cutting of the vegetables and everything else. And then here comes mom. And I'm like, no, we got it. We got it. I just want to make sure y'all have everything you need. Okay. And so I give him, I'm like, dude, I need you to chop the celery. And I see her out.
With a knife?
This freaking 13-year-old boy, come on. And mom, like, she, little by little, she just inched, and took the knife away from him. And she chopped the celery, right? Now, I understand that she's worried about her son getting cut. But she's also complaining about the fact that he doesn't do anything for himself. And
Yes.
so that's the thing I see. Now, when I used to run work, similarly, I had a particular way of running pipe. I always made sure that all the letters, I could read them and they were left to right and blah, blah, blah. And so I would make my guys do it that way. Nobody cares. It was going to be behind the sheetrock, but it was my way. It was a thing that I needed to have for whatever reason that did not contribute to the goal, to the intended outcome, but it felt right at the time. And I feel like, I'm sure that there's tribe members out there that are swimming in that. And it's like, why am I so frustrated? Why are things this way? Maybe it's because you have like you're freaking controlling the hell out of everything. How'd I do, Jen?
No, I agree, and I love that. I think it was, I believe, maybe Linda. I can't remember, but anyway, it's the uncertainty that we've learned from already. We've learned, we've figured it out, we failed, and you had a way of, this was my solution, and it works, and everyone should do it. And I feel like that's a lot of the control of like, we're trying to prevent something that we learned. And we lose sight of the fact of the learning. Like it's here, there's this outcome that we figured out, and this is what's working. And so now we can just bypass everything else and help them just get to this point. And yes, you can. And are you going to be there every time they have to make a decision? Are you going to be there every time that they need something laid out in front of them? Are you going to be there every time when it doesn't work? No, you're not. And your solution, which may be amazing based on where you were and what you're doing, may not be the only solution, may not be the best solution. And so what environments are you creating, and what are you hurting by, let me just lay this all out for you. Let me tell you everything. Let me put all of them the same way because this helped me in this situation, and that may not be what's important on their next job. So those are so, that's what I got from what you just said, Jesse.
Yeah, girl. That's it. That's it. Like Christy also says, I think control is rooted in insecurity. I agree. Like it's this thing, right? Because we think I gotta have control. I gotta make sure everything's in order, because whatever. But then because I think that if I do it this way, it's gonna be perfect all the time. No, what it means is I have to do it that way, make it that way all the time. So it ends up controlling me.
Because they become dependent on you.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
So Daddy Hoot says, responsibility, own what's yours. Control reaches for what isn't yours. And I'm going to expand. I agree.
Okay.
I'm going to expand on that in that and you've said it already, but it keeps people from building responsibility because it's always yours, right? And it starts to grow.
And like, we're not saying like there's this perfect solution. Like things are going to go bad. Things are going to screw up. People are going to get hurt. Like, and I'm not saying like it's okay for people to get hurt. I'm speaking specifically that my child right now, the one probably out of the two that I try to make sure I put all the bumpers up and I've protected everything so that everything can be like as safe as it can be. My child that I'm trying to let go of some of that control because it's not helping her is now got 3 burns on her leg from hot glue because she was doing a craft with a friend and she had shorts on and she wasn't being smart. And, and she comes out and she's got big, huge welts. Am I a bad parent because I let my child, like 15 years old, do crafts with hot glue? No, I'm not a bad parent.
No.
I also don't like that she now has these burns that we're having to help. But you know what? She's probably not going to make that mistake again.
Right.
And it sucks. And I'm not going to say she needed to get hurt to learn it. But I couldn't just go, oh, no hot glue. Oh, you got to be at the table. Oh, yeah. Like that's me. That's me. Let me, like, I'm Jennifer. And I have very much tried to, it is what it is. And I've tried to do that for so long because I know what's going to happen. And I've learned specifically with children, I hate to say it, it happens with adults too, is that they have to learn themselves and they usually learn by screwing up.
Yeah. Pain and failure, girl.
Yes. And it hurts when you're a parent and you're like, but you don't want hurt. I know, but that's life.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, again, I'm just being judgy. When I see parents do that, it's like, you think they're learning a skill. They're not. They're just
Right.
repeating the same skill that they've been repeating for 20 years, which is listen to mom, listen to dad, or they're going to
Right.
lose their shit. They're not learning how to deal with the thing in front of them. All right, so we got Miss Linda. I love it.
Yes. Okay.
Linda says, my therapist beat me up this week. Experiential avoidance. You're trying to control uncertainty. Oh, thanks for choosing violence. This is relevant. Jen, you know anything about trying to control uncertainty?
Yes. Like it sucks when you know what the answer is, you know what the solution is, and you know all the things that are going to happen if they don't make the right choice. And so if they would just listen, then everything is going to work out exactly the way that I think it should work out. Like I know that, and I have experienced that, and I have lots of experience with that. And did not help. It did not help my children, but it hurt me. It hurt me because I'm angry and upset and irritated all the damn time because I'm telling them and they're not listening. I don't know about your kids because I mean, a lot of people have kids out there. I don't know about yours, but mine, when I give them advice or I tell them something, or even I like make a statement, I don't care if it's written in front of them by God himself. Doesn't matter. Like their first reaction is like, well, da 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 da. This is what I read. This is what I saw. This is what so and so. Like that's their first reaction to everything that I say. It doesn't matter what comes out of my mouth. And then we proceed to argue, and I proceed to make my point. They proceed to defend their point. And in the end, like, okay, I'm mad. I'm irritated. I'm angry. I'm yelling. And like, what did we accomplish?
You started a good fight.
I mean, and it was more of that than like learning. It was more of that of growing, more of that of, okay, coming back later going, oh, you were kind of right. Like, my bad.
Mhm.
Like I've learned that if I just stop and like, let this play out, even though I know how it's going to play out, I let it play out. And we may have a little burn on our leg. We may have a bleach spot on a shirt because someone didn't want to listen. Like we may have some things that happen but I've learned those little bitty things, like they're not making the same mistakes.
Yes. Right. Oh, I love it. Okay, Miss Erin. Miss Erin
Yes.
dropped some wisdom. She says, if you control everything, nobody else owns anything.
Stab me in my heart. Erin, what the?
And inadvertently, you're telling them, I believe you're incapable.
Yes.
And
Ugh.
boom, ceiling established.
So I'm the problem still, is what you're saying.
Maybe not you, the control.
Yes.
Milo comes with responsibility is to be able to communicate the plan in such a way that all parties involved understand what done looks like. Control is not communicate and intervene at every step of the way. It's like color by numbers. Here's the thing, here are the numbers with the colors. Go. And maybe they may color out other lines, especially if I'm the one coloring.
Yes.
But don't get in the damn way. Because you want to develop people. Now, I also want to say there are appropriate times for control, for like rigid, stringent, forceful control.
Yeah, for safety to the extreme of like you have to have control that people don't die. You have to have control to make sure like you've got to intervene to keep someone from really hurting themselves or hurting the people around them.
Yes.
Especially in construction.
Yes. And glue on the leg is not one of those times.
I mean, it was for me, but no one knew that outside of everyone on this live stream right now.
Okay. So I'm going to pick on Hoots here.
Okay.
Because I think this is a mindset thing that could help people. It says this is hard in construction because the super is responsible for the project's success, but must give up control to others to get it done. How do you feel about this example? So I'm going to say how I feel about it.
Yes.
First of all, I have not met a single damn superintendent ever that built a whole project by herself or himself ever, ever.
Mhm.
And so there's this mindset thing that's like, I have to build it. The success is mine because I built it. You didn't build nothing. There's a whole bunch of other people that were involved in it. And so I think there's a grandiosity there in that I can't be responsible for everything, but I want to take credit for the success. And so because I want credit for the success, I'm going to give myself more responsibility. And the fact is, you can put the conditions in place, get the logistics squared away, get the team environment to the best of your ability, and people have to go execute. You're not controlling anything. You just think you are. That's my thought.
No, I agree. And it's one of those, yes, the buck stops with you. We're not going to take that away. Like the good and the bad, like all the stuff rolls, it's going to hit. You're the one that has to own it. If it's a great project, if there are hiccups and things like that, like either way, it does start. It does stop and start with the superintendent. So I don't want to take away from that. I also get to watch superintendents that are amazing and they empower their people to have agency and autonomy. And that's letting go of some of that control. They have to trust that their people are going to do it. But the people that they've given it to have freaking blown up and have what they're doing now and what they're running work and running floors, 1 or 2 years in construction because of what they were given. Like, yes, it's a trade-off. You have to trust and you have to believe that you've given them the right skills to be able to do it. And they're gonna screw up. Hopefully not. They're gonna screw up a lot where it's gonna cost you a lot of money, and that you've kind of put enough, checks in place. But like the people that have been given that and they take it and they do something with it, like you are now creating and the next generation of builders that are going to be out to go and do bigger things. Like,
Yes.
Isn't that the goal?
Yes. Well, that's the thing. I'm going to say most of the time it's not. Most of the superintendents I interact with, they think one project at a time
Oh, okay.
and then start all over. They don't
Yep.
like until they're, they got the highlights, they start saying, oh shit, I could have done better. Now, push back on you, Adam. He says, but they're still held responsible to get the work done.
Absolutely.
Again, this is a single-minded, short-sighted, selfish perspective. Because who doesn't get held responsible?
Yeah.
I was a plumber. I got my ass jumped when I didn't meet budget, I didn't meet schedule, when I didn't get my inspection, I got my butt jumped. When we finished a project on schedule, it was good. When it was behind, it was bad. Like internally within my organization, I was held responsible for a lot of things. And everybody on the project is too. Superintendent, you think you're special. You're not the only one. Again, it takes everybody, and everybody is being held responsible or we'll say, experiencing some consequences on whether the project performs successfully or unsuccessfully. The challenge is realizing, coming to terms with, you're not the only damn person on the job. There's a bunch of other people with like eyeballs and hands and legs. They too are contributing and experiencing consequences on the performance of the project.
Well, when does responsibility go away?
Well, I know when I decide I don't give a shit, when I decide that I'm not going to be accountable or I'm a low accountability person, then it doesn't matter. I'm a victim and it's everybody else's fault.
Correct. So I'm speaking specifically to Adam and this conversation is you are feeding the problem. Like, yes, responsibility. Yeah. I mean, like, it's not just all of a sudden going to be like, you've given agency and autonomy. Now it's not your problem. Like, we understand that, but if you've given agency and autonomy and they've taken it and they've done something with it, it also take some of that off of your plate to be able to go do other things and to not be like your mind and your brain and all of your energy focused on, are they doing it right? Are they doing it right? Like, they screw up, make a decision. They do great, make a decision. But like, you putting your energy and all of your efforts to try to control what the outcomes are, then why aren't you doing the job?
Yes.
Like why is someone else doing it? If
'Cause you
you're
can't.
gonna, I mean, I'm just saying like that. I mean, that's my question is if you want the responsibility, then do the dang job. If you know that you have other things you have to do, then trust the people that you've given the agency and the autonomy to do it. And again, help them along the way. Like I don't mean like dump them over the fence. Like be there, put the checkpoints in place, put the lessons learned, put the conversations on what's working, what's not. Like you have things that you can still do to be a part of it, but you're not the one that's like step one, step two. Like you got like I mean, if you want the responsibility and you want, and then just do the dang job. That's where I'm at.
And you can't. I have to
Right.
say that.
Right.
Call my mom if you don't like it. Too bad. All right. So I'm gonna throw the next question up
Okay. Yes.
for the tribe. So here, this is a fun one. What relationship in your life would improve if you loosened your grip by 10%? Not give up total control, Adam, just 10%. Like, what kind of impact would that have on you, your mental wellness, your joy, and the relationships you have with other people? Now, there's a couple comments I want to come to,
Yes.
and then I'm going to blindside you. Becky dropping nuggets from Converge. What, who, and when? Beautiful. Yes, this could totally be applied. Adam, do you remember that part? Oh, no, you don't. You weren't. Adam's going to be mad at me after today's show. Milo says, oh, okay. Milo says, it takes courage to be vulnerable, but it's better than being fearful and guarded.
We got to watch a little bit of that this week, didn't we? We get some of the examples some of the exercises that we were able to, Jesse and I specifically facilitate it is easier to be guarded and to control. I'm just gonna say, like that's my girl right there. She says, yes, that's what I'm talking about, Dr. G. But it's easier. I'm just going to say it's easier to hold on to control. Like it's just easier. If you want to stay where you are and you want them to stay where they are, easy. Okay. It takes a little bit more. It's going to be uncomfortable. It takes vulnerability. It takes a lot of trust to be able to let it go. But then both people get better.
Yes. I control. I mean, like for real, the word control keeps things in its current state, which means there's no room for growth or change.
Right. Yes.
Right? And those of us that are continuous improvement maniacs with the control streak, that we're contributing to the frustration that we're living. What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Christopher says,
I'm sure it was when I was talking. So yes.
Oh, 100%. 100%. All right. Mr. Jim says.
Answer, and then I'm going to ask you that question because I want you to.
Okay. Jim says, I prefer clarity over control. Same. If I can clearly communicate the expectation, it doesn't matter how you go from A to B.
Intent. Yes.
What is the intended outcome? Amen.
Love that.
Okay.
And that's like old school superintendent that is like lean. And he's like, if you want to engage with someone right now, like he's got lots of lessons learned on things to do and things to not do. Okay. I'm gonna ask this question of you, and then we'll go to the comments in a little bit. So Jesse, what relationship in your life would improve if you loosened the grip by just 10%?
You have an invitation to push back or maybe point me in a direction, but I think that if I loosened my grip by 10%, I would have more relationships.
Oh,
I think, I've designed my life in such a way, and I have my filtering systems and all the other things that don't let serendipitous connection relationship happen very often.
Okay, Jesse, I love this response. So the 10% is you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So this is like taking a turn, taking a little twist here. And so by you like letting go control, like most of us have been talking about like outward, and that's where my brain goes. But you're like right now, if you don't know Jesse, He is a very like has this list, has this goal, has these. I'm going to accomplish these things on this day, and he's done a lot of data research on this is how many things I can accomplish each day, and this is the goal, and I can't start something new until like he's really good at that. And so you are saying that because of all of that maniacal stuff going on in your head, if you could like let go of 10% of the here's the plan, here's the plan, here's the plan, it would allow you to potentially build more relationships. Why is that important?
Well, I think I'll say it this way. If and when I do that, it would create space for relationships generally. Now, what would motivate me to do that is identifying a need or a gap that I have that a relationship could fill.
Oh,
Right. And so, like, in terms of without it being super calculated, I would probably be more relaxed and more tolerant of conversations that I'm not tolerant about or people that I do care about, but there's stuff that they enjoy that I don't, so I limit. And so it could have, different add facets to some of the current relationships I have, or introduce somebody that I would typically like. I'll give you an example. We're in a group, person I don't really know, we're talking, they come in, they start talking about football. They're dead to me. Like, if that's what you're going to talk about, I got to go. Now, if I didn't have like the 10% and just lowered that a little bit and listen and maybe say, oh, why is that team? Why are you crazy about it? Oh, is that where you're from? Oh, what do you do? Like, this person seems pretty cool. But right now, that's not how it happens. Like, okay,
right.
All right, you care about, whoever. Awesome. I don't. Deuce. I'm out.
So it's like you have this filtering system of like, as soon as a word or a conversation goes in a direction, doesn't matter. If I bring up something, we're a little bit different because we talk a lot, but if it's a new person and they bring up a topic that in your mind, that's not really on my interest list, it automatically creates a wall.
Yeah.
It irrelevant of the value they could bring, all the things that potentially could be there, that they just happen to like something that you don't like, which, Jesse, is effing normal, that I like things that you don't like and you like things that I don't like. Just so I'm just putting it out there that it's normal that most people that you're in relationships with, you are not 100% aligned. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah.
And so your filtering system your operating system has worked for you on this is what's important to me, and I can make these other things not important. Yes. And so you said it out loud, and every time we say something out loud, that we have the opportunity to pick it apart. And so and you answered it, but I want you to answer it again. Like, why is you loosening the grip and allowing yourself to potentially be open more to building why does that even matter? Like, right now your business is great. Right now you have a lot of cool people around you. Why does it matter?
It doesn't. Like, right now things are phenomenal. I'm able to contribute to the degree that I want to contribute. I'm learning and connecting, and the amount of joy I have is ultimate.
Okay.
So I don't see a need for it, which is why I'm okay with it.
Do you feel right now, based on, and this is, I want to dig one more time, is you meet a lot of people like real fast, and you're, hey, I want to connect with you, want to whatever, can we have a follow-up, all that. You have people like that, and you again, through your operating system, I'm so going to call it now, your operating system, you have very much like like pushing them to the side. Like, I feel like you're like, okay, yes, no, whatever. Has there been someone that you were like, don't have time for you, we're not aligned, we're not on the same page, that you did that and found out later that it was a mistake, or it was someone that when they came back around, you were like, oh, I probably could have given them more time?
Yeah, no, that happens a lot because and I'm super judgy, right? If somebody was talking about what's the thing that people they have like, oh, fantasy, like fantasy football or sports in general. I know how much time it takes to watch a game.
Uh-huh.
So that's hours a day, usually a whole weekend. And then following the highlights and and they're watching, they're talking about their fantasy thing. So for me, the calculation is this: like, if they want to talk about sports, they spend at least 10 hours a week thinking in that space. I don't spend any time in that space. And so if I get into this conversation, it's going to be 30 minutes of something I don't care about. So I don't want to be in the conversation because they care more about it than I do. I'll talk about the Spurs because they're in the playoffs and I have some personal connection there, but whatever. Now, so what that means is I'm just not going to openly or intentionally connect with the person and understand, like, whatever. Now, what you asked was, has that ever come back? Like, yes, the same person loves the Steelers or whoever. And then we're in a different setting, and the questions that they're asking and the things they're contributing, like, ooh, I like the way that person thinks. Now I'm interested in learning more. Maybe we could connect. Maybe I could help, or maybe they can help me in some way. But there's more depth to that person that now I'm curious and more open to letting something happen. Whereas when it's just, again, I'm using sports because it's the easiest example. I don't see any depth. I don't have time for that.
Oof. Okay, so number one, let's just own your judgy. You're very judgy. And so, and again, we're all allowed to have our own opinions of things like that. I think, and this may be a follow-up conversation because we got some more comments too, is that sometimes you have this filtering system, this operating system that like shuts people out. Like, that's not my kind. I think it's also, what's the goal? Is the goal to build relationships? Is the goal to make that person feel heard? Is that goal to take the time to be able to understand? But like it's to the goal. If you're somewhere and you're networking and that's your goal, is like, I got to meet people and I want to build connections and I want to make sure that I'm growing my community so that that whatever the goal, whatever you're trying to accomplish, then you may have to. And I don't know about you, but I know I have been in conversations with people sometimes the rabbit holes Jesse goes down, that it is important to him. And he has just figured out something that like he is so excited about that I will probably not ever take any time in my life to go and figure it out. But it's also, Jesse's important to me. And he just figured something out and I'm excited for him. So him talking to me and me taking that time and listening, that's important. That's a goal of mine, to make sure that I'm present and I'm there for the people that I care about. Then, that's a choice. Or I could be like, Jesse, I don't care. I'm never going to go down this road. You get to make those choices. And so like when you're talking about control and you're talking about the things that like what you allow and what you don't allow, like first you've got to be able to do a little bit of self-reflection on like, my first filter is this person important to me? and I hate to say that, and it's so basic, but like if they're important to me, then I need to go, am I going to allow the time? Because I'm going to tell you that based on my conversations with Jesse, is any time we're talking, okay, it is a decision that Jesse has made that I am going to interact and have this conversation with Jennifer instead of doing something else. And it is a choice. And again, we get to make those choices. And so we can't make the choice and then be mad and resentful about it. So he can't get mad at me if he's not over here accomplishing one of his goals because he's giving me time. And like, I'm saying that because and everyone's like, well, yeah, no, I'm just saying like we impose those things on people because we're judgy or because we don't agree, but we just sit in that space and then are mad because we didn't get something else done. And I know that's kind of around, but like, okay, wrap it up, Jesse.
No, I'll say this. Like, I don't get mad for not getting invited to Super Bowl parties and games. And, this actually, Adam probably remember this. We're in New Orleans. He had tickets to the Saints game. And he invited me, and I'm like, I would love to hang out, but no, I'm not going to go, because all I did was like this. We're talking 4 to 6 hours of sitting with people I don't, not Adam, but like other
Yeah.
strangers yelling and shit. Like, no, I don't want that. Would it have been awesome? Hell yeah. Would it there have been stories? Yes, but it's just not a thing. So I don't get to be pissy about not getting invited to the game or to because people know like, oh, Jesse's a pain. And I won't be able to stay the whole game. I'll have to leave. Chris, thank you, Christopher. Says don't feel bad. I like golfing because it's hard. It is almost impossible for me to play 18 holes. I get about 8 or 9 holes in. I'm like, okay, I got shit to do. I gotta go. It's a thing. It's a total
Just
Jesse.
wrap it back up, because I know we've kind of gone down a little trail here. Like, again, I feel like it was important because we've talked about your answer on like letting go control of yourself and being able to open yourself up to relationships, stuff like that. So bring it back to our circle of control and what we're
Yeah.
trying to talk about.
So the control thing is first, folks, recognize that you may have control issues. And what we're presenting to you is that if you loosen the grip, it will create space for a little more joy, a little more relaxation, and better outcomes in terms of like the worst part is controlling the way things are done creates dependency and will
Yes.
limit the growth of your people.
Yeah.
Now, when people are imminent danger, control the shit out of that. But not everything is imminent danger. Not everything is a life or death consequence. And so if you're frustrated with your people not growing and not contributing and not making decisions on their own, that's a sign that you're controlling the situation.
You're the problem.
You're the problem, 100%. Now, we have several answers to
Yes.
what relationship in your life would improve.
Yes.
Milo says, my marriage. From what I hear, those are important relationships.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Milo. Linda says, in writing, we talk constantly about loose hands on the reins. Clutching the reins doesn't do a damn thing on an 1,800-pound horse except make them mad. The sketchier it gets, the more I need to let go. Counterintuitive. I mean, there's so many. I mean, let's think about yes with Jen and Jess, Jen, right? Like, there's not a lot of controls in this whole situation. And when we first started it, it was uncomfortable.
Oh, it was bad.
But what would it be if we would have outlined and agendized and optimized? What would it be today?
It wouldn't be, we don't even know if we would still be interacting. Like you may not even be my friend anymore. Like I know, and again, it started with like we did some live streams on a topic and it was really cool and we had fun and it turned into a book and we were like we were driving. We got a lot of people like you that jumped in and contributed and we were like, man, this is so cool. And then we like finished what our plan was. And everyone's like, what's next? And Jesse and I were like, what do you mean what's next? And they're like, what's next? What are y'all going to talk about next? And we were like, well, we don't have a plan to talk about anything else. And so he and I had to go, okay, like there's this need, there's this pool. What are we going to do? And we're like, oh, well, we'll just, and Jesse, I remember this conversation. We'll roll out a platform. And you and I will do live streams. And we're like, oh my gosh, yes. Because we have 5S and we have A3 and we have all these lean things that we can break down and we can apply them and we can like dig into things that people aren't talking about. We can relate them to things that are, I mean, we had all these series. I remember it. We like had these different things in lean that we could like pull them apart and make them our own and stuff. And we were like, oh, that gives us like 3 or 4 series. And so, and then like the first one, and please don't go back and look at any of the first year, maybe the first 6 months of us doing live streams, because we're like on 4.5 years right now. It was like, here's what we're going to talk about. And like, okay, what's the topic? What are the questions? What are we going to do? What are you going to say? What am I going to say? When am I going to ask you the question? When are you going to ask me? And it was so like, I was so in my head. It was like, when we got done, I'm like, I was like ready to go and like take a nap. Like it was so stressful. And it was bad. Like, it was really bad. And Jesse had done them for a while. So he had kind of knows. And we had just done live streams. So, and they went great. But it was like, at that point, like, oh, we like officially rolled this out and this is ours. And we need a plan and we need to do all these things so people can get value. And it was so bad because I needed to control whatever was going to be said. And at that moment, we realized, like, we don't need a script and we don't need predetermined questions to the point that y'all don't know this, but like, we go live 8:00 every other Saturday morning. Jesse may get the questions from me at like 7:43, maybe a little early, but that's usually when I'm like, hey, here's some questions. Let's go with this. And then we get on, Jesse, about 15 minutes before the live stream and go, what are we going to talk about today? What do you think? What? And then we just roll it out and go. And it has been amazing. So yes, I had to like realize, like, again, we just have to do this and see what happens, and nobody may show up, and that's okay.
Yeah. And because of the low level of controls, it creates the space for people to contribute, which is where the tribe comes in and creates all the value that we're experiencing here. So by design, Becky says, I'd have more meaningful relationships. So Becky, I hear you, girl. Yeah. I love this. Miss Jackie says, oh, wow. What would help even 10% for me? I would probably see other people step up more, but it's so hard to give things away.
I feel you, Jackie. I feel you.
So here's what I'm going to say, Jackie. Pick one thing, low risk thing, and let go. And just do it one time. And if the sky doesn't fall down, do it again.
Yes.
Hoots, props to my brother Hoots. He's working on his PhD right now. He says the relationship with his advisor, every time I get feedback from her to rewrite the whole damn thing, it's hard to give up control of my own work. I feel you, man. And you're putting your heart and soul to it. That's a good one. That's a tough one. All right, so we got like 3 minutes till randomizer time. And Aaron says, interest is a feeling. Showing up is a choice. One fades, the other builds legacy. Gangsta.
She is. I'm telling you, she says things like so just nonchalant. Like, just let me just drop this in here. Like, and she said something when we were at Converge. She's like, uncomfortable is not the same as unsafe.
Yes.
And it blew my mind of like, uncomfortable does not mean it's unsafe. Because I think people get so weirded out about, I'm uncomfortable. This is not, I'm feeling like I'm whatever. And like, you and I lean into the uncomfortable space on purpose because it is where growth happens. And it still also needs to be a safe space for people to do it. And so if you create a safe space, people are going to be, they're not going to be okay. And it's okay. So like, anyway, she drops bombs. So make sure you're connected to her.
And I get to work with her. Jackie says, yeah, do it again. Thanks, guys. Yeah, like, it's not life or death. It'll be okay. And Jen, you and I did this, right? I mean, well, I don't know if you knew. I think you knew what we were doing. I was always like, okay, just this little thing. Like, just let go of this little thing. Let's be flexible with this little thing. And then now here we are.
And now it's like, I do podcasts outside of ours. Like, I have people that invite me to podcasts, and bless their heart, love them to death, because not everyone functions the way that we function on this live stream. Is most of them, if not all of them, I believe all of them, will give me the here's the questions I'm going to ask. They're like, give me, and some of them, they want me to answer them ahead of time so they can kind of have some context. I'm going to tell you, if you're out there and you want me on your podcast, which I am all about sharing, if you send me questions to answer ahead of time, I'm not going to answer them. And I probably will not look at them. And I respect you, and I love you, and I love your processes. It will mess up me and my brain and what I say. And I have just said, for me to be authentic, it will hit me. You'll get raw feedback, but it has been, again, me, the most valuable. So there you go.
Love it. And that's coming. I think I found the video, Jen.
Well, no, don't do it. No.
This was the New Orleans conference, LCI Congress. Jen was speaking that day, and I love it. Here's what I love, Jen. I'm picking on you, but I love because the amount of impact that you have now is exponentially greater than back then, and the fun that you have. Before that Congress, she was speaking. She was pacing back and forth in the exhibit hall, reviewing her cards, and I'm like, oh wow, oh damn, like she was getting, and you're amazing and you're phenomenal, and you didn't need all of that.
Yeah.
And I think now, because of where you come from, it's super impactful.
But for me, it was letting go of the outcome. I think it's kind of weird because it's not really a person or whatever. I had to let go of the outcome that in my mind, this is exactly what is happening. As soon as I let go of what in my mind, the perfect outcome could be, it became so much more than what my brain was allowing me to see.
Okay. So I can't remember who said this. He's a producer, like world-renowned, world-class music producer. When he works with artists, the focus is, he says, we don't even think about the outcome. The only thing we can control are the inputs. What are we going to do? How are we going to prepare? How are we going to practice? How are we going to adjust? Ignore the outcome, and that's what produces the great stuff. He said, and his point was, the people that have the worst time are, we got to sell 10 million. It's got to be a hit. It's got to be a banger. And it just screws the creativeness that's necessary to produce amazing.
Well, we saw that, and I know you got to do randomizer, but we saw that this week at Converge, because I had a session, and it was a session that I kind of got free reign. They didn't put limitations on it, and I love when someone goes, just come and talk about whatever. And so I put a session together that I'd never done a workshop like that, and it was some stuff that was very important to me, but also, this, and multiple people that were there, you may not know this, but I was like, it was like, hold my beer, like hold my beer. Let's see what happens. And I told you, we're going to do an experiment, and it could be freaking amazing, or it could be a disaster. And it will give me data points to let me know if this is something I should lean into, or if, hey, let's not do this again. And this, not many people know that, but that is how I went into it. And it was like completely upside down from what was happening and what had been happening up until that point. And lucky for me, there were a lot of positive takeaways from it based on the exercises that we did. But I was like, oh, we'll see. I don't know. It may be great. It may not.
It was awesome. It was really good. And yes, perfect example. The Jen in New Orleans would never have done that.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this question up for the tribe, and we're going to do the randomizer.
Okay.
So tribe, here's the question. Answer this if you're courageous. Drop your answer in the comments. What is the cost of holding on? The cost of keeping control, not the benefit. The cost. What is it costing you?
I know my answers, but I want to do the randomizer, and then I will give you my answer. There's two things for me, two big things. Yes.
Randomizer. All right, let me pull that.
Okay, so again, if you made a comment, you're in the randomizer, and then Jesse's going to do the randomizer. If your name gets picked, you will get an email, and you'll get invited to come and hang out with us, probably in June or July, to come and hang out with Emotional Bungee Jumpers and hang out with Cultivation Crew. And it's just like leveling up your leadership skills and hanging out with cool people.
Yeah, here we go. Can you see it? Oh my goodness, who's it gonna be?
Oh, Jesse, no, you did you rig it?
I did not.
Okay, Becky, first of all, I had a conversation with Jesse in Chicago, and I was like, hey, I talked to Becky, and we talked about No BS, we talked about Cultivation Crew, and I always win the challenges, and so I always have free, like, hey, come visit and check it out. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to give Becky my free entry, so just be ready for the email. And he's like, no problem, Jesse. Now you don't even need it from me, Becky, because you got a free one, which means you could also invites, we could also tag, I can bring somebody else. So if you have somebody else that you also think would be good, we can do that as well. So
there you go. That's a good move there. I'm super happy with Spanky. And no, I didn't rig it. I wish I could. All right, so we got some heavy answers here.
okay,
Mia
let's
says,
go.
not living
Yes.
fully. Mm-mm-mm. And Maya was the ultimate
Oh my God.
photographer at
Yes.
the event.
Go follow. If you're not following her yet, go to LinkedIn and follow her, because she has already started posting videos and photos of the Converge Construction Summit event. And she's like, I mean, again, she's an amazing photographer, but she's also an even more amazing person.
Yeah, I got to sit next to her. It was awesome. Oh man, we got the answers rolling
Okay,
in.
come on. Yes.
Now, Milo, lack of joy.
Yep.
Leo. Jackie says, extra stress, big old headache. Health and relationships. Man, these aren't small things, Jen.
I know, like, yes, they're giving it out there. Sometimes it takes a little bit, get them out there.
Not progressing in multiple areas. Yeah, that's the cost. Staying right where you're at. Yep. Ooh, yes, that's some reality.
No, I'm going to answer, but Jesse, I also want yours. Okay.
Okay.
So my answer, there's two, and then I'll explain them. Energy and peace.
Ooh.
That's the cost. That's what I have given up. That is what I have just lost, and what has hurt me for a long time because of just holding on so tight. And for me, the energy piece is how much energy it takes to hold on. And as soon as I started letting go of some of these things, and if you haven't watched all of our live streams, some of the stuff is talked on previous live streams, when I started letting go of the things that like didn't matter that much, then like I had energy to go focus on other things. And I had energy to be able to like do bigger things. And then the other one is peace. And for me, it's with my kids. It's with my kids. Like, it's almost like, do you need to be right all the time just to make your point? And what are you losing and sacrificing in the process? It's the same thing for me when it comes to control. And I am a work in progress, but also the less control that I feel like I have to have, or even that I'm exerting outwardly, even though I may still have some control, when I'm exerting it, the peace I have with my children on just the conversations we're having, the relationship getting mended, the things that we're doing because I trust them, because they're able to grow and learn. It's what you want to do as a parent, but like I had to let go of some of that to be able to allow that to happen. So my answers. What about you, Jess?
Well, first, I'm going to shout out Maya, because just how amazing and committed photographer she is. And you know how I feel about photographers and videographers. Like, okay, we did the thing, but now I got to wait 10 years to get the damn product. I don't like that. Maya has been working on uploading all the stuff she captured. So folks, and she's also the executive director of Crew Collaborative. So she's a player out there. She just don't wear that on her chest like she should. So for me, Jen, and I'm going to cheat, but it's 100% real. Like, the cost of me holding on is not becoming the promise I'm intended to be. This month is going to be 10 years of me living a sober life.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And before I started down this path, and yeah, I do have control parameters in place, but I was ultra, like zero vulnerability, zero connection, 1,000 million, like I controlled everything, manipulated everything around me, and I was miserable. And since I started letting people in, opening up, being more vulnerable, the experience of like the joy, the fulfillment is beyond belief. And the ways that I can contribute and serve others just continues to expand and grow. And so for me, when I get in those, moments where it's like, I got to stop this, I got to stop that, I got to, like, no, you don't, stupid. Because the option, like, yes, I can,
Mhm.
but I will be making a choice to minimize all the other things that really bring meaning and value and flavor to my life. That's all. That's
I
all.
mean, that's all. That's all. Oh my gosh, Jesse. So again, one, I got to hang out with you this week, which I always love when we get to hang out in person. Even though I looked and I didn't get a selfie, I don't think I got a selfie with you. Just you.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesse, that never happens. That's okay. I got a lot of other selfies. I got tons of selfies, but it was, yes, it was fun. And it was, but also two things. Number one is we do not have an after party today, which we normally do. So if you're new, just know that we normally have an after party after the live stream where you get to get on and just talk. You don't have to be on video. So come back so that you can be on the after party next time. And then Jesse, you don't know this yet, but next time we have a live stream in 2 weeks, I'll be on vacation, but I'll be somewhere that I can still jump on. I just won't have my normal background in. So I will be joining from Philadelphia because my family's going up there to hang out and stuff. So we'll have a fun conversation while we're there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me shout out Christopher. He
Yes.
said the thing he'll be sacrificing is the growth of those around you, 100%. But Jen, we managed to get through all three
I know, and
questions.
you didn't get in trouble. You're still at the airport. You're about to leave Chicago, and no one came and like pulled you and told you like you're not allowed to be here. So I'm glad that I'm glad you were able to make it all the way through.
Yes, 100%. Oh, look, Mia's got a picture of us. There you go.
Yes, good. Because I'm like, how did that happen?
I love it. Well, folks, all the Convergers, love you guys. Glad you all made it safe. All the No BS tribe, as usual, man. Thanks for showing up and contributing to the conversation and being vulnerable. Adam, please give me a pass for picking on you today. I couldn't help it. I miss you. That's a sign of me missing you, Hoots. All right, Jen, you got the music?
Yeah, and I do. And just final thought is again, what is one thing you're going to release this week? Think about it. Just like what is that? What is the one thing that I'm gonna let this one little decision not be something I have to control? That's the challenge.
That's it. All right. I'm time to control the music.